When he passed away, like every night afterwards, like was filled with like looking for through photos of him, looking through like every single text message we've like ever sent. Like at one point we had to message over email because my phone broke. I was looking at those emails and being like, what? I wanted to find every single trace of him because like that's how much like I yearned to have him with me and to, like have him back. Like it was so crazy, like the lengths that I felt like I went to just to like feel like his presence again and to feel like he was like with me. Like I did this whole thing because like I lost a lot of photos when I broke my phone, and I did this thing on this website, which is $100, which for me at that time was like a lot because I was like didn't have any money. I was gonna be a single mom, like, and I paid for this thing to help like restore photos, and I found all these old photos, and I was like, oh my gosh, like that, like nothing made me happier than like finding those photos. Like I felt like it was like Christmas to find photos with him and stuff that I had that like were lost, and I feel like going through that, it's like that's all I wanted was like him back. And like it was the hardest thing in my entire life. Like I've never lost someone like close like that. And yeah, it's like in that moment, it's like I would do anything like to get him back. Like every single night I cried, like crying my eyes out to just missing him and like writing about him. And like it was just so intense. Like the process was so hard, and like there were so many things I wish I would have said. Like so I had so many regrets with what I said like before he passed, and then I had like so many things I wish I could say or currently say or ask him about, and it was just like, yeah, the grieving process was so intense and so I never experienced anything like it, I guess. And I feel like because of it, it's given me like a lot of maybe fears or anxiety into like my current life, because I didn't realize like how quickly like life goes and you can like lose someone like that. And that's like the first experience that I had where like, yeah, like now in my life, I had to try to ease my anxiety, but like my husband doesn't respond within a certain amount of time. I'm like, well, did he like get in a crash, or like, did he do like what happened? Or like, are my kids okay? Like I get so freaked out. So I think it definitely translates even to my life now, which is hard for sure. Yeah, so it's actually kind of sad because I didn't know like that I was being abused, and I had to literally Google like things that were happening to me like towards the end of the relationship. I was like, okay, like I'm just gonna Google this because like I was feeling like I was crazy. I'm like, am I crazy? Like there's no way like this is what a real relationship is like, because that's what he would tell me. Like you've never been in a real relationship, like you don't know what it's like, you know? So I literally Googled it, and like every single thing that it listed like on this website about abusive relationships, like I was going through. So I was like, oh my gosh. I remember I just like cried and I was like, I'm being like abused. And that was like the moment I like really like clicked in my head. And so like I knew, I think it was in that moment where I was like, I have to like get out of here. Like, and I already feel like I wanted to get out. I just feel like trapped. And so I feel like it took for me to kind of get fed up. And honestly, like that's the thing. It is hard for people to leave. And for me, it was like it took for him to physically leave the state, for me to be like have the courage to do it because I was scared. But at that point, I was like, I'll just be very nice and like friendly and cordial and like all that. And like if he does retaliate, then like it is what it is at this point, because like I was so miserable that I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like I just got so fed up to where like I guess in that moment, which is a good thing, I feel like I chose myself over like staying with this man. I was like, I honestly rather die at this point than be with him, is how I felt. And so it took getting to that point to finally like not give an F of what happens, I guess is what it is. And so I don't know. I think I just suggest to people like notice the signs in the beginning in the relationship, because they will happen. Like even if like things are really good, you'll see little signs that I saw and ignored because I was like, well, I guess I haven't been in a real relationship, so I don't really know. Like intense jealousy, like love bombing. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones, like possessiveness, like just like the little ones that like are kind of subtle, that I would suggest like, hey, if you see these things, or if like something doesn't align with you, like cut it now, because it's like the deeper you get, the harder it is. Like I know I was talking to my manager last night, and she was talking about when she met her wife, that like on the first date she was like, do you want kids? And she was like, if you don't, like I'm out, like because that's what I want for my future. And I honestly think that's smart, because like if there's certain things that are a deal breaker for you, say it from the beginning, and if that person's not good with it before you're attached to them, then be done. Because it's like you have to have like your like what you want in your life and say it how it is. If that person doesn't align with that, they're not your person. But once you get super deep into it, it makes it harder and harder to leave. And I'm not saying like I'm just talking about in general, not even in abusive relationships. Like, it is harder the more you get to know someone and love someone. So certain things that I saw in the beginning with him before I was really being abused, like, that's what I would say. If that's when you're like, something doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. Like, and I had that moment I talk about in the book where I felt like physically ill to like go out with him one day, and I had no idea why. Like, came out of nowhere, and I was like, I just like don't want to go with him, and I couldn't even explain what it is. And my mom was like, what's going on with you? Like, we, that was before he was doing anything to abuse me. And I think it was like my body was like already saying like no, like rejecting him, but I didn't listen because I was like young, and I was like, oh, like my mom thinks it's fine, like whatever, it's probably fine. But looking back, I'm like, that was my sign. I should have been like, no, I'm not going, cut it off. But like I was 17, so I wasn't there to know it. So that's why I hope people can read this who are young like that too, and being like, oh, like if I feel that feeling, maybe it's a bad sign. And I think your body will tell you things that maybe your brain isn't. And I think which is really cool if you think about it. Like, your body can tell you sometimes when things are off, like in an environment, and maybe to get out of the environment. Like, and it's cool that your body can do that. You just got to listen to it.